One. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Sally Jo Houghton, Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I've got such a lot of likes and love and loads of gorgeous comments over the cards I've created over the last couple of days that, as promised, I've decided to give you a little video tutorial on how to create the little Festival of Trees snow scene. So it features a lovely moon, some stamping and some snowy hillside. So I've created 3 cards in total, 2 smaller cards and a bit more of a feature card, but it's all the same principle used on the cards, and that's what we're going to do today. I've changed the colour scheme because videoing us today I've got my great friend who I've met through Stampin' Up, Yvonne, and she's kindly videoing me over the shoulder, and we are going to create our background using Blushing Bride and Basic Grey ink, and we're going to use a Whisper White as before for the crisp snow and a Blushing Bride card. We need the Festival of Trees lacy tree stamp. It's just like a pine tree, so that's really pretty. We need a 1 1/4 inch circle punch. We don't actually need the actual Festival of Trees punch for this, but it's there in case we need it for later. And technical bit is 2 post-it notes, because the post-it notes are so thin. We use these to create the mask for the moon, but because they are so thin, they don't punch that well. So if you punch 2 at once at the top where it's sticky, that's waste. You can use the little bits for other masks. And I can put 1 on my card ready. And then the other bit we need is some waste cards, waste paper. And I'm just going to have a root in Yvonne's bin, just because I just do these things. So we've got the moon on. We had to stop because actually I hadn't put us any of the other important part, is the scrap copier paper. So it's just thin copier paper. We hadn't actually got on it, and there was none in Yvonne's bin, which I thought there would be. So the most technical part is the tearing, and I'm sometimes a bit heavy-handed and I get lots of jaggy bits, or like a bit of a mound or a hillock. So that's your hills. So take a look, see which one you like the look of. I actually like this one because I can put it on an angle and have it a little bit more sloping, I think. Or that one. No, I'm going to go with this one. And we're going to use the sponges to add colour. So to start with, I'm going to go in with the Basic Grey, just for a dark tone. And then add some highlights with the pink Pirouette. And just see, I've just positioned it and I'm holding it down with my hand, and then I'm just dusting over. So I'm just using the sponges. Some people use brayers for this technique. I just like using sponges. So just the Basic Grey. It's going to be quite a different colour scheme for a Christmas card, but once we get the trees on, I think it'll be quite atmospheric. Doesn't matter if you catch that, because we'll turn it around in a minute. And then I'm going to go in and get my trees on. Be a bit heavy-handed. This is one of the older style ink pads. Doesn't mean you can't use it still. A lot of us still have these resources. Make use of them. Spend your money on rubber is what I say. And I'm going to put the tree on quite high up. And while it's still there, I'm going to use the second and the third impression, because it just adds depth to your stamping. Ink it up again. Get them at different heights. If you go in a forest, all the trees all vary, and it is quite a regimented stamp, so it just adds a bit of contrast. Add another one there, and then actually I'm going to stamp off because I just got the edge there, but and then there. And I think that's it for trees. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go in and just add a little bit more grey, just to darken it up a bit, because that's what we want, the dark. And then add a tiny bit of the pink now. Take my hands off, hope there's no waft of a breeze. Move my paper, and it has, but you can just line it up again, just carefully, like that. Add just a touch of pink. So sometimes you get all these lovely glows or snow, and I think it just adds a different edge to your card. Right, we're going to get the moon in, so take that away now. We've got a lovely snowy hillock, and I'm going to do the top edge and around the moon. So go back in, and I'm going to work from the other way up and just dust around the moon.
You're still on basic grey, Sally Jo?
Yes, I'm still on basic grey. I've swapped. Sorry, Yvonne, I'm not talking very much. I get a bit tuned into stamping and having a crafty fiddle. I know, we're going to have bits of giggles. But I'm just dusting off, and I'll give you a little sneaky peek. If you peel it back, you can see it is quite white in there. So when you peel it off, it's always better to add little bits of colour. Don't go in too heavy-handed, because you can add more, but once you've started adding ink, you can't take it away.
I think that's what my problem is. I always do it too heavy.
Go light. If you've got really brand new ink pads and they're really juicy, then a little light tap, or maybe take a little bit of ink off the lid, and always use your, test it out on your scrap paper. That's what it's there for. So yeah, I'm keeping yours really clean because we're at your house. There, I've added that, and I'm going to add just a touch of pink.
That was grey.
Oh, sorry, Yvonne, I've just contaminate your sponge. There. What a friend's for, is not to contaminate your sponge. And I'm just adding that hint. Can you see that like a blush? Sort of like just a hint of a colour, because, when we look at the natural environment, it isn't all one colour. And then I'm just going to add my definition now. Picked up the grey again, I'll bear in mind. And I go in and I flick the colour in around the edge. So this is like taking away the matting and layering for you. So it's really good when you want a one layer card. And I do make one layer cards. People do think I just make quite big cards. And I'm going to add a bit to the bottom as well. Just, it makes the white pop a little bit more. And then add a little bit of the pink. And it is Blushing Bride, to make sure I go to the Blushing Bride ink pad. And just add. I've been a bit heavy-handed in that corner there. Drops it, and then a bit up the top. I think really just a bit more Northern Lights, the pink and the grey. So I'll do a little bit of a reveal, and I'll take the moon away, and then you can see that there you go.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so there. And join me tomorrow and you'll find the full finished card on my Facebook page. So find me, look for me, Sally Jo Houghton, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator. Thank you to Yvonne for today, and bye for now.